The last thing we want to show in terms of basic web test recording rules is how to detect dynamic parameters and how to convert those using this method here into web test parameters. For this, we'll have to add a little bit more of a recording. We'll use the record button here to add recording. And it turns out that in this music store application, the best place to perform this operation is going to be after we've added a few items to a cart. So we'll add one item to a cart. We'll come in and add another item to a cart. And then when we click Remove from Cart, this is actually going to use some parameters. And you'll see them here under Form Post Parameters. We're posting back with an ID. And as we remove another item from the cart, we'll see a different ID is being posted back. And this is what we're going to be able to parameterize. So now we'll stop our recording. And these things have been added, and as part of the detection, Visual Studio is going to see these form post parameters, and it's going to give us the option right here to promote these to web test parameters and give them a name. At this point, we can go ahead and accept these dynamic parameters, keep the name of them or change it if we wish, and say OK. And now we have these rules that allow us to specify how these parameters should be pulled in from the form post. And we can modify these as part of our test. So here's our ID, which has form post param1, and our other ID here, which is form post param2. It's important to note that these form post parameters are being pulled from the text of this particular request here, where in the response these form post params were included inside of the actual HTML. So what's happening here is if we were to run this in a dynamic fashion with different values being pushed into the cart at this stage, these form post params would pull out their dynamic value based on these properties specified here. So when you do an extract text rule, it's going to extract out some text from the response, and it's basically going to look for the thing that starts off the text and the thing that ends the text, and allows you to specify some other options here in terms of whether it's a regular expression or whether it's required and things like that. But it's interesting to note here that our form post param is being set not to a hard-coded value in this case, but to a dynamic value that's being specified from the extraction that's occurring a few requests previously. We'll look in a later module at how we can do some more customization along these lines and how you can specify your own custom extraction rules. But for now, suffice to say that we're going to pull out these parameters from this request here, and then they will always be guaranteed to match, so that you don't have to manually specify a hard-coded value in this particular location that would then change if you dynamified which particular albums you were adding to the cart as part of your test script.